Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing? It's the Zonk Man. Here again. What do you say, Daisy? Daisy's sitting up here, so maybe she won't be circling the place, which I got a different angle too. All right, so what am I doing here? We are going to, this video is going to be about my vinyl finds from Jay at the Grown Man Record Night. So I had a person say, hey, they wanted to see those records that I got from Jay. I think when Jay showed them on Grown Man Record Night, kind of missed them or whatever. So I'm gonna make a video. Oh, don't want to knock that out. I got the mic and the beard. That's back by request. So we'll see how that goes. Also, I've got, oh man, I left the record up there. And I'm getting the record. Or the cover anyway. Whoa, don't sit on the dog. Astral Yacht. This, of course, is the psychedelic record. This is going to be like the Zonk Man's theme song. Till he copyright strikes me. No, also I wanted to say something to Psychedelic also, because I've had a problem on social media trying to respond and communicate with them. If you have not seen where I responded and told you where to go on the Grown Man Record Night video to see where we talked about your record and like the time, I've answered your video about the Bandcamp Friday video. That's where I put it on there. So hopefully you get that information. What else is going on? Let's just go ahead and get into it. I've got quite a few records here to show. Hey, what's going on? You trying to creep in here? Mrs. Zonkman's doing what? Can you read that? It says, hi, Vinyl Richie. And that's it. Also, I'm just sitting here talking about other stuff, so I keep addressing different people in the video. I'm going to address Vinyl Richie too. Hopefully he sees this. I've told people that I've now made it in the VC because I ended up being in a Vinyl Richie compilation VC video. So I think that's why Mrs. Altman did the sign. Okay, so let's get into the records we got from Jay. And basically all this was Jay was wanting to trim down some of his collection. He didn't want to get rid of everything. He just wanted to like get rid of, you know, some of his stuff that he did, you know, he wasn't really gonna care. His core stuff he was gonna keep. So I gave him a wish list. So he literally was able to go to his collection and pick out exact albums that I needed a copy of. Here we go. We're going to start off right off the bat. Boom. Wait, what's this? Yes, this is a rough copy of Rolling Stones, their Satanic Majesty's Request. He just kind of threw this in, but it plays fine. I cleaned all these records. There was a couple of skips through there, but I think I worked them out and cleaned them out enough to where they're not going to skip again, or loop rather. But he kind of threw this record in. Really, my first time listening to it, I'm like, yeah, it's psychedelic, but just because it was supposed to be an answer to the Beatles' White Album. Is there somebody needs to tell me, is there any like hits off of here that ended up in their greatest hits or that they play live or anything? Because I know a lot of people like that record, but I felt like first listening was underwhelming. And I'm a Stones over Beatles guy almost every day. But that particular record was not what I thought it was going to be. I'm actually glad to get like a free copy that's well loved. Anyway, let's keep it rolling. I guess we're going to keep it English. Eric Clapton, 461 Ocean Boulevard. I didn't have a copy of this. His cover of I Shot the Sheriff is great. Willie and the Hand Jive. And I couldn't really tell you what else on this. Motherless Children rather. Gatefold. Y'all are familiar with that stuff. Some people don't even like Clapton. I'll have fun with people that like Clapton, but we might like a closet case or something because of it. I've got quite a few Clapton records. Usually they're not that expensive, so you find them in the dollar bin, you find them cheap, and there might be that one hit or whatever. Like this one here. This is even a promo with the hype sticker. And Jay just kind of handed it over. And like, I didn't recognize Forever Man as by the title. But when I listened to it, oh yeah, I remember that song on the radio. Kind of keeping that same vein, a little Alan Parsons Project, iRobot. And dude, I want to, because this is so prevalent right now, I want to read iRobot, the story of the rise of the machine and the decline of man, which paradoxically coincided with his discovery of the wheel, and a warning that his brief dominance on this planet will probably end because man tried to create robot in his own image. Yes, and then we could go even in more depth with that. But so Alan Parsons Project. How about some Men at Work? Cargo. It's a Mistake, I think, was the hit off this. This is not as good as the other. I can't even think of the other Men at Work album that has Down Under on it. But shoot, man, this thing is still in the shrink with the hype sticker. Killer, man. How about some Bee Gees Odessa? Non-velvet cover, which is fine. Just because this is a little bit later in the 70s, that's fine reissue. Good stuff. This is good stuff. This, I guess, is kind of in that same realm too, where this was like attempt to be psychedelic and to sound like the Beatles-esque anyway. But anyway, Bee Gees Odessa. You guys know. Let's jump back to the 80s. Go-Go's, We Got the Beat. And I forget the other song. There was another hit or so off of this too. But hey, you can't go wrong with any Go-Go's. Beauty and the Beat is the name of the album. We've Got the Beat is the single. I remember my sister had the 45 of that. Yeah, I might have listened to it every now and then. How about some more Rolling Stones? It's Only Rock and Roll. Just needed a copy of this. Cool deal. I forget what this is. 73, 4, 1, 74. Cool. This is like the only jazz record. Herbie Hancock. Dude, I am a big fan of Herbie Hancock. I don't care if it's if he's playing piano in the hard bop era, like in the 60s, or if we get into the 70s, or even in the 80s where it's like keyboards and synthesizers and everything else. Herbie is the man, and this is a promo with the time strip. And of course the cutouts. Herbie Hancock, Man-Child. Did I say Herbie Man? Blah. This might be the only R&B record. Little Marvin Gaye, let's get it on. Let's get Mrs. Altman back in the room. Play some Marvin Gaye. Of course, this is an essential record. You need some Marvin Gaye. This is killer, man. B-52's Wild Planet. Private Idaho was the main one I knew off of this. But all this stuff. Devil in My Car, Party Out of Bounds, Dirty Back Road. Yeah. This is killer stuff. And it's cool that Michael Pilmer just recently got back from the Devo tour. He's the Devo stage costume guy or whatever, maybe. And they were touring with B-52s. Well, he befriended Cindy Wilson. I couldn't tell you which one maybe this beehive, and her husband. And so super cool. He's talked about that on some of his videos and his live stream. Let's keep rolling. Little Bob Marley and the Wailers, Exodus. Killer stuff. Y'all know this. 77. Natural Mystic, Exodus, Jammin', One Love. People get ready. Man, this is killer stuff. How about some Pink Floyd, Adam Hart Mother? This was a very mellow record. I wasn't real familiar with this. I definitely need to listen to it some more. Not the craziness, not the spaciness. I don't know. I'll have to listen to this record some more. I might have been distracted while listening to it, but this one is actually one of the ones that had a loop, and then I went back and cleaned it, and I felt like I got it. We'll see when I throw it up on the turntable again if it loops. Y'all are familiar with some Pink Floyd, Adam Hart Mother, and another Pink Floyd, Uma Guma. So this one you're familiar, like the first this is 2 LPs. The first record, super cool, super like psychedelic, crazy Pink Floyd stuff out there. And then I think the second LP, man, I was like, got weird, like real weird. And it was beyond just like psychedelia and whatever. So I have to listen to this again too and kind of see where we're going on some Uma Guma. But no, still stoked to get this copy. Where we going? We still got a few more. Showing lots of records. Saxon, Denim and Leather. So yeah, Jay's got some metal stuff too. This is 1981. This is great stuff, man. Princess, I'm trying to think of what, I don't really know other than, and the band's played on, and Midnight Rider, Fire in the Sky. Check out them on some motorcycles. Denim and Leather. So yeah, this is killer essential record for metalhead. Keep rolling. Let's see what else we got here. How about some Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance? Yeah. Rob Halford said, you got another thing coming. So cool. This is 82, I'm sorry. 82 Judas Priest record. Some people start disliking Judas Priest in the 80s, or that might be the last one where they kind of jump off. I'll listen to all that stuff. Turbo. Man, I can't even think right now, but it's all good stuff. How about this, man? This, I knew this was essential, but I was kind of clueless as to what it was or how it sounded, and this is great stuff. I mean, it's out there, and it's like, I don't even know what you call it. Y'all are familiar with Kraftwerk, but it's that ambient noise, whatever. I don't even know. Electronic stuff, but super killer, man. Because everything here is kind of related to Robot, Space Lab, Metropolis, the Man Machine, Neon Lights, the model. So yeah. Killer stuff. German Kraftwerk. And dude, this record was in there. Freaking killer. MC5. Kick out the jams. Now, this is a censored version. And that's fine. Usually I don't like censored music, but to have a copy of this, killer. This whole thing, and that's all the records. So this whole thing from Jay, it was just like, hey, how much do you want for it? Hey, take, this really had kind of like the vibes of JT going to Bill's Garage. I don't know if you guys watch JT's Music Room. Man, I always forget exactly what his channel name is. Definitely a must. He's out of Reno, but he goes over to Bill's Garage and just digs through piles and piles of records and gets great stuff. Now he'll come across some stuff that's trashed and well loved. You know, this is like very well loved, but played fine. This was actually a super clean. This is probably VG plus cover, VG plus vinyl. This is probably super clean record. But no, killer stuff, all of it. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Kid, for wanting me to make a video, just showing what I got from them. So this is like a vinyl finds. Yeah, we're tripping out to some Astral Yacht by the one and only Psychedelic, and his buddy, his counterpart, Jacob. And that's all the Zonk Man's got for you, man. Let's keep rolling. Let's do some more videos. Yeah. Peace. Thank you for sitting nicely, Daisy. Do you want to say hi to him? Whoa. Vinyl Richie said, I think the dog's worried about you talking to yourself. She don't care. She just wants to be pet. All right. See y'all later.